हम यहाँ बैठे कि वहाँ यहाँ बैठे?
तो चलिए हम सब लोग हाथ जोड़ें। इस पवित्र अवसर पर हम एकत्रित हुए हैं पूज्य श्रीराम जी और रेखा जी के पवित्र घर, जो कि एक आश्रमी है, और उनके प्यारे पिताजी जो भी 101 वर्ष की आयु से थोड़ा सा ऊंचा है। भगवान करे उनका स्वास्थ्य अच्छा रहे और ऐसे ही वो चलते रहें और बहुत सबको आनंद देते रहें। पापा जी, आपका जीवन मंगलमय हो, सुखपूर्ण हो और आपको आनंद की प्राप्ति हो, हर रोज आनंद की प्राप्ति हो। आप में भक्ति भरपूर है और आज हम सब मिलकर गीता का दूसरे अध्याय का श्रवण करेंगे ताकि इसका पूरा पुण्य आपको इसी अवस्था में प्राप्त हो और आनंद की अनुभूति हो। और हमारा आशीर्वाद है कि आप दिन प्रतिदिन इसी भगवान से ही जुड़े रहें, उसी का ध्यान करें। तो आज 3 ओम के साथ आज का सत्संग हम शुरू करते हैं। ओम। तात सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ओम कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय हरे परमात्मने प्रणतक्लेशनाशाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ओम त्र्यंबकं यजामहे सुगंधिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मोक्षीयमामृतात्। ओम शांति शांति शांति। तो चलिए हम गीता का दूसरे अध्याय का श्रवण करते हैं। पहला अध्याय खत्म हुआ है अर्जुन विषाद योग। विषाद मतलब ग्रीव। तो अर्जुन अभी बहुत कष्ट में हैं और वो विषाद कर रहे हैं, अर्थात दुखी हैं कि मेरे को अपने प्रियजनों को मारना पड़ेगा, तो मैं युद्ध नहीं करना चाहता, इसीलिए ऐसा सोचकर वो रथ के मध्य में बैठ गए हैं और उस हिसाब से वो दुखी हो रहे हैं। तो भगवान सोच रहे थे, अभी तक भगवान चुप थे, पहले अध्याय में कुछ नहीं बोले, अर्जुन का सब बात सुने कि वो बोला मैं युद्ध नहीं करूंगा, मैं भीख मांग लूंगा, भिक्षा का अन्न ले लूंगा, मेरे मारकर अगर हमें राज्य मिलेगा उसका क्या फायदा, क्या लाभ, और इससे अच्छा तो हम, और ऊपर से स्त्रियां भी दूषित हो जाएंगी, हमारा पूरा कुल खत्म हो जाएगा, तो ऐसी जीत से तो मेरा भिक्षा का अन्न खाना भी उससे उचित रहेगा। तो भगवान पूरा तर्क देकर अब भगवान बोलते हैं, श्री भगवान उवाच कुतस्त्वाकश्मलमितं विश्वे समुपस्थितम् अनार्यजुष्टम स्वर्ग्यम कीर्तिम करम अर्जुनम। श्री भगवान बोले, हे अर्जुन, तुझे इस समय में ये मोह किस हेतु से प्राप्त हुआ है? मोह मतलब अटैचमेंट। आज स्वामी जी भी यही बात करते थे, मोहा में हम फंस जाते हैं क्योंकि हम शरीर को प्यार करने लग जाते हैं, आत्मा को भूल जाते हैं और शरीर से मोह हो जाता है। तो भगवान वो सोच रहे थे अर्जुन की भगवान मेरी बात का समर्थन करेंगे, बोलेंगे हाँ बहुत सुंदर बात है, लेकिन भगवान ने डांट लगा दी, उल्टा काम हो गया। तो भगवान उसको बोले, इस समय क्योंकि ना तो ये श्रेष्ठ पुरुषों का आश्रित है, ना स्वर्ग को देने वाला है और ना कीर्ति को करने वाला ही है। तो भगवान बोले, इसलिए है अर्जुन, नपुंसकता को प्राप्त मत हो, तुझमें ये उचित जान नहीं पड़ता है। हे परंतप, हृदय की तुच्छ दुर्बलता को त्याग कर युद्ध के लिए खड़े हो जाओ। तो भगवान क्या कर रहे हैं? जान के, भगवान जानते हैं, लेकिन जान के उसके अहम पर चोट कर रहे हैं कि नपुंसकता मीन्स इम्पोर्टेंट। डोंट बिहेव लाइक एन इम्पोर्टेंट पर्सन। तुम मर्द हो, तुम युद्ध के लिए तैयार हो, तो इस समय अब क्या हो गया? जैसे जब पूरी तैयारी हो जाए और एक्टर स्क्रीन पे प्ले पे आने से मना कर दे, तो अब ऑडियंस तो बैठा है, सब कुछ तो तैयार है, यू कैन नॉट से नो एट दैट टाइम। बोले पहले बोलते कि नहीं करना, और ऊपर से कुंती ने खुद बोला कि क्षत्रिय है, जिसके लिए क्षत्रिय अपने बच्चों को पैदा करती है, वो समय आ गया है, युद्ध करने जाओ, माँ की आज्ञा लेके आए, और अब यहाँ पर टेम्परेरीली मोह में फंस गए हैं। तो उस मोह से निकालना एक अच्छे डॉक्टर का काम है कि आपके जो बॉयल है उसको काट के मरहम लगा के ठीक करे, ना कि उसको प्यार करता रहे। तो उसका काम है दुख दे उस समय टेम्परेरीली। यही भगवान कृष्ण भी कर रहे हैं। अर्जुन बोले, हे मधुसूदन, मैं रणभूमि में किस प्रकार वाणों से भीष्म पितामह और द्रोणाचार्य से विरुद्ध लड़ूंगा, क्योंकि भीष्म पितामह उनके दादाजी थे और द्रोणाचार्य उनके गुरु थे, गुरु से सीखे थे, तो ये दोनों ही पूजनीय हैं। तो अर्जुन अब ये क्लियर कर रहे हैं कि मैं डर नहीं रहा हूँ। डोंट थिंक आई एम स्केयर्ड और आई एम इम्पोटेंट और आई एम अफ्रेड ऑफ फाइटिंग, आई एम अफ्रेड ऑफ किलिंग माय लव्ड वंस। उसका ये समस्या है, वो डरपोक नहीं है, वो तो इंद्र को हरा के आ गया है, वो इंद्रजीत की करा है। तो आगे बताते हैं, he is also explaining his logic why he is saying, इसीलिए इन महानुभाव गुरुजनों को न मारकर मैं इस लोक में भिक्षा का अन्न भी खाना कल्याणकारक समझता हूँ, क्योंकि गुरुजनों को मारकर भी इस लोक में रुधिर से सने हुए अर्थ और कामरूप भोगों को ही तो भोगूंगा। तो अपने गुरु समझता है द्रोणाचार्य, जिनसे वो युद्ध करना सीखे थे अर्जुन। तो अब वो बोलते थे अपने गुरु को हमें मारने की क्षमता नहीं है, क्योंकि वो कौरव की तरफ से लड़ते थे, इसलिए। तो अब इस तरीके से कई उन्होंने तर्क दिए, और समय के अभाव के कारण हम हर श्लोक नहीं पढ़ेंगे, केवल यही श्लोक को हम पढ़ेंगे, थोड़ा कम कर। तो इसीलिए उन्होंने कहा कि संजय उवाच, हे राजन, निद्रा को जीतने वाले अर्जुन अंतर्यामी श्री कृष्ण महाराज के प्रति इस प्रकार कहकर फिर श्री गोविंद भगवान से युद्ध नहीं करूंगा, ये स्पष्ट कहकर चुप हो गए। एक तरफ तो वो बोलते हैं, भगवान कृष्ण मुझे ज्ञान दीजिए, मुझे बताइए, पहले अपने रथ का सारथी चुना, फिर वो सब बात करके डिसीजन खुद भी बना लिया कि मैं युद्ध नहीं करूंगा, और बैठ गए युद्ध में। बीच में धनुष उतार दिया और तीर हटा दिए अपना, और बीच में रथ में दुखी हैं। तो हे भरतवंशी धृतराष्ट्र, अंतर्यामी श्री कृष्ण महाराज दोनों सेनाओं के बीच में शोक करते हुए उस अर्जुन को हंसते हुए से ये वचन बोले। तो भगवान कृष्ण क्या बोलते हैं, श्री भगवान उवाचा। तो यहाँ से कई कथावाचक या कई संत यहाँ से ही शुरू करते हैं दूसरे अध्याय के 11वें श्लोक से, क्योंकि वास्तव में असली गीता का गूढ़ ज्ञान ये है, जिसको CPR बोला जाता है, एकदम अर्जुन को दुख को दूर करने के लिए। यहाँ भगवान बोलते हैं, अशोच्यानन्व शोचत स्वं प्रज्ञावादांश्च भाषसे गतासूंश्च नानुशोचन्ति पंडिताः। मतलब भगवान बोले, हे अर्जुन, तू न शोक करने योग्य मनुष्य के लिए शोक करता है और पंडितों के से वचन कहता है। एक तरफ तो तुम जिस पे शोक नहीं करना चाहिए उसके लिए शोक कर रहे हो, लेकिन बात ऐसे कर रहे हो जैसे बहुत बड़े ज्ञानी हो। You are talking with so much confidence as if you know what you are talking. परंतु God says, but जिसके प्राण चले गए हैं और उनके लिए, और जिनके प्राण नहीं गए हैं उनके लिए भी पंडित जन शोक नहीं करते। Which means that पंडित means somebody who is intellectually wise person, not just book smart but a wise person, ज्ञानी। तो जो ज्ञानी लोग हैं वो इन दुखों से विचलित नहीं होते हैं। जब हम शरीर का कष्ट देखते हैं, या कोई जो मर जाते हैं या जो नहीं भी मरे, क्योंकि अंत में तो सभी ने उसी गंगा में जाकर बह जाना है। ये मनुष्य शरीर ऐसा ही बना है, आज किसी का, कल किसी और का, फिर हमारा, हम सब का ये नियम है। इसीलिए हम धर्म को भी पकड़ते हैं, ध्यान करते हैं, अच्छे कर्म करते हैं कि भगवान हमसे प्रसन्न हो कि जो जीवन हमको दिया गया है उसमें हम अच्छे काम करें। तो यही भगवान बताते हैं। हम ये भी नहीं, तो इस तरीके से भगवान कहते हैं उनके लिए पंडित जन शोक नहीं किया करते। न तो ऐसा ही है कि मैं किसी काल में नहीं था, और ना तो ऐसा ही है कि ये राजा लोग नहीं थे, और ना ऐसा ही है कि इससे आगे भी नहीं रहेंगे। तो what is God trying to say? Meaning the cycle of life will continue on and on and on for most people. So I have also taken birth, you have also taken many births, and many people you will continue this cycle. देहिनो अस्मिन् यथा देहे कौमारम यौवनम जरा तथा देहांतर प्राप्तिर धीरस्तत्र न मुह्यति। फिर भगवान आगे एग्जाम्पल से समझाते हैं अर्जुन को कि जैसे जीवात्मा इस देह में पहले बालक के रूप में योर एग्जिस्टेंस में जीवात्मा रहती है, वो परमात्मा है, हम जीवात्मा। लाइक गॉड इज द सन बट वी आर द रे ऑफ द सन. So we are nothing but the sun, because the ray is nothing but sun's energy only. So he says, जैसे बालकपन आता है, you are a child, then you grow into a youth, then you grow into old. We have seen it. Every one of us has seen it. We were children, we were a child once, then we were a youth, we were older, and now you were a baby once you came here. You were yourself 6 years old, now you have a 6-year-old. See, so that cycle will continue like that. तो वैसे ही अन्य शरीर की प्राप्ति होती है. Just like that the cycle is continuing. No doubt the cycle will continue. But because we cannot see it, we are in doubt. What happens to the subtle body and all that. तो भगवान, ये शब्द भगवान के हैं. श्री भगवान वाचा, coming out of God's mouth. So therefore there is no dilution and very important information. हे कुंती पुत्र, सर्दी गर्मी सुख दुख को देने वाले इंद्रिय और विषयों के संयोग से तो उत्पत्ति विनाशशील और अनित्य है, इसलिए तू उसको सहन कर. Now God is saying, God wants us to focus on the self, आत्मा पे, शरीर पे नहीं. क्योंकि अभी शरीर देखो, कभी आपका शरीर जवान था, कभी आप भागते थे, कभी आप क्या कुछ करते थे. अभी इसमें भी आप, शरीर का तो थोड़ा कष्ट है, लेकिन मन से आप प्रसन्न हैं, मन से आप बांसुरी भी बजाते हैं, सब कुछ अभी शरीर भी सपोर्ट करता है. ऐसे ही हमको बताते हैं भगवान कृष्ण कि जैसे सर्दी आती है तो गर्मी आती है, सुख आता है तो दुख आता है, और विषयों के इंद्रियों के संयोग से हम, कभी उत्पत्ति है तो विनाश भी है. Just like there is day and night, morning, evening, life and death, therefore you tolerate it. Tolerate it, why? Because there is no other choice. You cannot say, I don't want it. If you don't want it, the mother will grab you to give the baby a shower. Because if he is running under the bed, how long can he ignore it? So mother will pull. ऐसे ही death also comes the same way. We may try to ignore, but when time has arrived, we should gracefully accept it. और जो भगवान के भक्त हैं, जहाँ पर इतना आनंद है और सब जगह साधु संत हैं, वो एस्ट्रल बॉडी में आपको पूरा संरक्षण करते हैं, ब्लेसिंग करते हैं. जैसे अब हम यहाँ आए, हमें क्या पता था, और आप दोनों ने, सबने मिलके हमारा इतना आनंद करा दिया, हमारे पास कुछ खर्चने भी नहीं देते, करने भी नहीं देते. ऐसे ही आपका जब आत्मा जाता है तो वही सिद्ध पुरुष, वही महात्मा, वही एनर्जीज आपके आसपास आकर आपका रक्षा कर लेती है. तो यही भगवान बता रहे हैं, धीर पुरुष मोहित नहीं तो सहन करो, क्योंकि हे पुरुष श्रेष्ठ, सुख दुख को समान समझने वाले जिस धीर पुरुष को ये इंद्रिय और विषयों के संयोग व्याकुल नहीं करते, वे मोक्ष के योग्य है. मोक्ष मतलब जन्म मरण का चक्र को काट देना, उसको डिसरप्ट कर देना, वरना द लाइफ विल कंटिन्यू ऑन एंड ऑन. अच्छे कर्म किए तो स्वर्ग मिलेगा, बुरे कर्म किए तो नरक मिलेगा. नरक में अनलिमिटेड पेन है, स्वर्ग में अनलिमिटेड सुख है. लेकिन दोनों ही धीरे धीरे कर्म जैसे जैसे खत्म होता है, वो उनका अंत हो जाता है. एंड देन वी आर रीबॉर्न. Even devatas are reborn. Just like we die, we are reborn. These heavenly astral energies also कर्म से धीरे धीरे खत्म होता है, फिर उनका भी जन्म होता है. But हम जो मोक्ष पा लेते हैं, जैसे हमारे गुरुदेव हैं, वो उनको जीवन मुक्त संत कहा जाता है. They are called living enlightened people. जीवन मुक्ति means liberated while alive. Then some of us get liberated after death. उसको हम बोलते हैं क्रम मुक्ति. क्रम मुक्ति means you are never going to come back on earth planet, but you will keep going higher and higher till you merge into Brahman and then into the cosmic consciousness. तो वो दोनों ही बहुत उत्तम स्थिति है. They are very high states. Most people don't know. They keep on doing good things, but good things is not enough to get God. Good things is heaven. You get heaven. But you have to transcend good and bad and understand that I want liberation. and liberation is the maid servant of devotion. Devotion. So when you play the flute with devotion and you enjoy, that is the higher than liberation. Higher, because what happens, liberation comes as the maid servant to devotion. And that is what God is trying to say to Arjuna, उसको सहन कर, क्योंकि वो मोक्ष के योग्य हो जाता है. वो मनुष्य जो इस बात को समझे, that person who understands how important this human body is, because in this body we can get God, or we can get liberated, or we can get hell, or we can become a worm based on our actions. It's all up to us, but God is not discriminating. Same body is like a Grand Central Station. You can take a train to north or south. You can go up in the Himalayas, or you can go down to Kanyakumari. It's up to you. So this is what God is trying to say. असत वस्तु बहुत सुंदर श्लोक है. ना सतो विद्यते भावो ना भावो विद्यते सतः उभयरोपि दृष्टवन्त स्तवन योस्त तत्वदर्शिभिः. So what God is saying is that what is untrue doesn't exist. It is untrue. How can it exist? This whole dream is untrue. When you are dreaming in your sleep, it seems real, but it is not real. That's why when you wake up, nothing, gone, nothing comes on your bed, no food, nothing. Dream, different word, so untrue. And then he says, Sat ka bhav nahi hai, and truth is everywhere. You cannot say where is truth, because it's in every particle, everything, every energy that is rotating, electron, proton, neutron, every atom, everything that is happening through God's grace, because God is omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient. So when जब भगवान सर्वत्र यत्र सर्वत्र सब जगह विद्यमान है, तो वो कण कण में विद्यमान है. He's in every atom, and even in nanotechnology, everything that we see with the microscope, even in that God is there, because He's in the atoms and much beyond that. The whole cosmic energy. तो कण कण में राम बसे हैं. कण कण में मतलब we don't have to do big things, because God is in everything. Everything. Right now God is listening. Just like we were seeing that Sudama. भगवान सुनते हैं कि नहीं? ऐसे ही भगवान तो ये सुन रहे हैं, तभी ये प्रसाद आपको प्राप्त हो रहा है. तो नाश रहित तो तू उसको जान. इस प्रकार इन दोनों का ही तत्व ज्ञानी पुरुषों द्वारा देखा गया है. So enlightened people realize what is untrue and what is true. So they will only go after the truth. They will not stick to the dream. Suppose you win a lottery in a dream and you wake up, there is nothing. Now you can cry. What happened to my ticket? I lost $10 million. You didn't lose anything. You didn't have it. So nothing was there. Nothing is lost. है ना? तो ये सब खत्म हो गया. ऐसे ही नाश रहित, ऐसे ही ये शरीर है. When it ends, you didn't lose anything. Just like in your dream, you wake up, you say, "Oh, dream is over." When we leave our last breath and we wake up, we say, "Oh, the dream is over." It's a delayed dream. जीवन को दीर्घ स्वप्न कहा जाता है, but असली लगता है, लेकिन असली नहीं है, सपना ही है. And when you devotees of God, when they believe, तो विष्णु पार्षद आते हैं. कल हमने शंकराचार्य जी के उसमें पढ़ाई था. And then all good things. It's such a blissful journey for that departing soul. But the people who are left behind, if they are not prepared, they are the ones who suffer more. क्योंकि अब कौन सा जगजीत सिंह का जो भजन है, जाने वो कौन सा देश जहाँ तुम चले, चिट्ठी ना कोई संदेश. हम सोचते हैं, where have we gone, what will happen, how will we meet them, what. And so this, if you read this and you understand the depth of it, you will not grieve. Instead you will pray, because when we grieve for the soul, जब हम रोते हैं, दुखी होते हैं, हम उसको वापस खींचते हैं. मोह, that is moha. But when we love somebody, we give them blessings. We give them energy. We pray for them. So that is why he says, नाश रहे तो उसको जान, जिससे ये संपूर्ण जगत दृश्य वर्ग व्याप्त है. इस अविनाशी का विनाश करने में कोई भी समर्थ नहीं है. मतलब ये नाश रहित है. नाश रहित means cannot be destroyed. Your atma cannot be destroyed, no matter what you do. You cannot drown it. You cannot burn it. why you heal, God will explain all these things. But he says, nobody, the mightiest warrior cannot touch your Atma. Therefore they say, be fearless. Because we are always fearful of the body only, right? Atma mein to nothing can happen. So he says, this nash rahit apramay nitya swarup jivatma ke ye sab sharir नाशवान कहे गए हैं, इसलिए हे भरतवंशी अर्जुन तू युद्ध कर. So God is trying to focus his energies on Arjuna. I'm trying to see a watch if we have one. So God is basically trying to say कि ये सब इसीलिए नाशवान कहे गए हैं, which means everything that is going to end, why worry about it? You should do the battle, fight. And normally we would say, what is this? Normally we say fighting is not good. You should avoid fighting. And here God keeps telling Arjun, fight. Why is God saying to fight? Because it is the fight of righteousness, the fight of dharma. Dharma means ethical. Being non-violent doesn't mean being a coward. There's a difference. Very big difference, because a lot of times we say where our existence is in question, we have to survive, we have to save ourselves. And here the adharma, whenever unrighteousness takes over, God comes. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyam. I come and I destroy evil. So God is ready for that now. Wo pak ke unka Duryodhan ka ghada pak ke, it's ready now. The evil of the Shakuni and Duryodhan and Dushashan and Karna, all these people who what they were doing with the Pandavas, they were only 5, they were 100. So that's why the senses are only 5. But what all we do with it? The elements are only 5, earth, water, fire, air, ether, 5 elements. But ऐसे ही तो भगवान बताते हैं कि इसलिए तो युद्ध कर, जो इस आत्मा को मरने वाला समझता है और इसको मरा मानता है, वे दोनों ही नहीं जानते, क्योंकि आत्मा वास्तव में ना तो किसी को मारता है और ना ही किसी के द्वारा मारा जाता है. Meaning, we are not this body. That's what Krishna is trying to say. But he knows that Arjuna is not ready for it yet. So he's gradually taking him to deep water. Slowly, धीरे धीरे अर्जुन को खींच कर ले जा रहे हैं. तो वो बताते हैं कि आत्मा ना तो मरता है ना मारता है, क्योंकि इसका स्वरूप ही ऐसा है. It is made of such a material. Our body, if somebody hurts, we get hurt. And if somebody cuts us, we will even die. If a knife goes in, a bullet goes in, because it's not capable of protecting us from that. These elements are not strong. But our Atma is beyond all this. It is not touched by any grief of anything. It is a witness. It is much higher than eyes, sight, senses, sense, smell, touch, taste. Whatever we know in the worldly experience, Atma is beyond that. And it is the Atma that is creating the light. Through that light, the intellect lights up. Through that intellect light, the mind lights up. Through the mind light, the senses light up. Through the senses light, the objects light up. And then you see the world. But when you sleep, what happens? Everything is shut down. Because the mind is shut down and it has gone into the intellect has gone into the ego, and it is close to the Atma. Therefore it gets the whiff of bliss, Ananda, and that is ignorance is bliss. In English we say, that is, you are enjoying but you are in ignorance. That is blissful. But when you convert it into meditation, now you are doing something positive. Like -4 + 4, big difference. So that is what God is trying to teach us. Kintu, even if you think that the Atma is born and dies, still then you should not grieve. Here God is trying to say, He is taking a contrarian view. अच्छा, suppose you say Atma मरता है और जीवित भी होता है, तब भी तुम्हें दुख नहीं करना चाहिए. Then He gives His reason. क्यों? Not that it happens. Atma can never be destroyed, He says. Yeah. But He says, suppose you assume. Just like somebody says, where is God? The atheists say, where is God? He says, suppose you argue that way, क्योंकि इस मान्यता के अनुसार जन्मे हुए की मृत्यु निश्चित है और मरे हुए का जन्म निश्चित है. So even then you can see it every day in front of you that people will die and they are born. So then बिना उपाय वाले विषय में तू शोक करने योग्य नहीं है, मीनिंग दैट देयर इज नो सॉल्यूशन टू दिस प्रॉब्लम. No solution. So if there is a solution, grieve. If our loved one, by crying, if that loved one is going to come back, then all the power to us. We should cry the heck out of ourselves. But it's not going to. It has happened. It's something has happened and it has broken. You can't unbreak a glass. If it's broken, it's broken. Now you get another one. So that's the same thing with the body also. तो ये शरीर का भी यही धर्म है. तो इसीलिए तुम शोक नहीं करो. हे अर्जुन, संपूर्ण प्राणी जन्म से पहले अप्रकट थे और बाद में भी अप्रकट हो जाते हैं. What a mysterious thing, Papa ji. Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna that we were all invisible. You were 101.5 years ago. You were invisible. You did not exist on this earth. Even though right now we are so happy that God gave you such a beautiful long life and everything. But 101 years ago, you were not even born, right? You were born to your father and mother 101 plus years ago. But before that, where were you? Where were we? 45, Rohit beta, 45 years, 40 whatever years, where were you? So we don't know, but we consider this reality to be so real that we think this is the only thing. This is Maya. This is the power of Maya, that it binds us to the world process in such a deep way that we say, ये तो चलता ही रहेगा, permanent visa लग गया है, कभी खत्म नहीं होगा. But that is not so. One day, suddenly, every day we read the obituaries. How many people, whoever left their home, who knows? So that's why we have to live every day in gratitude. हर रोज भगवान जाहि विधि राखे राम ताहि विधि रहिए. और ऐसा भक्ति तो किसी किसी को मिलता है, like you beautiful family have. So that is what we are saying. That God is saying, you didn't exist before. Now you are existing and you will not exist later. So therefore, only in the middle you are visible. You didn't exist here, you won't exist there, and in the middle something is happening. Just like the screen of a TV, it is a screen, something comes on, it exists, and then it goes away, and then the screen is left. Much in the same way, you were nothing, you were just Atma, then a layer of body came and covered it, and then the body is shed up, and then you are the Atma again. Nothing happened, and then it keeps on changing, like the waves of the ocean. Waves of the ocean will keep coming, है ना? समुद्र की लहरें तो आती रहेंगी, बंद थोड़ी होंगी. तो ऐसे ही भगवान बताते हैं, क्योंकि एक महापुरुष ही इस आत्मा को आश्चर्य की भांति देखता है, और वैसा ही दूसरा कोई महापुरुष ही इसे तत्व की भांति आश्चर्य की भांति वर्णन करता है, और दूसरा कोई अधिकारी पुरुष ही इसे आश्चर्य की भांति सुनता है, और कोई तो सुनकर भी इसको नहीं जानता. So God has covered a lot of ground here. He says some only out of who is a Mahapurush, somebody who is a super center, somebody who has super knowledge, who has been into spirituality quite a bit deeper, and then he looks at this Atma with awe, because it is such an awesome thing that it cannot be seen, it cannot be touched, it cannot be described, because eyes, senses, nose, mouth, teeth, everything, body, it's limited. The limited cannot explain the unlimited. How can 2 express infinity? It's only 2. So we are trying to capture. That's why people say, what was the enlightenment experience like? What does it feel like? Nobody can explain it. Like even our Gurudev, nobody, because if he'll explain from the mouth, or he will explain from the eyes or the ears. That is not the way. It is a beyond time and space. समय स्थान से बाहर की बात है, and we exist in time and space. So दूसरा तत्व की भांति इसका वर्णन करता है, which means it takes a Mahapurush to properly explain the Bhagavad Gita and these mystical scriptures through Brahma Shrotriya, Brahmanishta, somebody who is established in Brahman or who has achieved that state can explain it properly, and then only devotees and deeply spiritual people will get to understand this, because they have to listen with equal attention. Otherwise what will happen? यहाँ से घुसेगा, उधर से बाहर आके भाग जाएगा तीर की तरह. So what is the benefit? There is, they are not, those souls are not ready yet, because they will not be able to tune to that frequency. Music is the same, but somebody likes heavy metal, somebody likes spiritual, somebody likes classical, somebody likes something else. So this is the tuning. We have to tune our frequency to God's frequency, Papaji. That is why when you hear so many beautiful things, what are you doing? The mantras are going in your psyche. They are going inside of you, and now they have become a part of you. You don't need to even remember it. It's your DNA. आपके अंदर घुस जाता है. तो ऐसे ही, और कोई तो सुनकर भी नहीं जानता, बिकॉज वो ध्यान उसकी उनकी पात्रता भी इतनी नहीं हुई है. So there are 10 students, some will top, some will fail, some will get middle marks, just like life. Spirituality. हे अर्जुन, ये आत्मा सबके शरीर में सदा ही अवध्य है. अवध्य means you cannot destroy it. So therefore don't grieve. Krishna has again and again said, don't grieve, fight, meaning not fight the battle with swords, but fight the battle with your daily life. Suddenly we are doing something and some bad news comes. Suddenly we are doing something and some good news comes, but they will both come and go and come and go and come and go. So if we keep reacting, sometimes happy, sometimes sad, we are only creating more problems for ourselves. So shant ho jao. वो देखे, just watch it like a witness. Just like your dream, you don't get angry with your dream, whether it was a good dream or a bad dream. So you move on. Much in the same way, when life gives you challenges, you just accept it like that. अपने धर्म को देखकर भी तू भय करने योग्य नहीं है, अर्थात तुझे भय नहीं करना चाहिए, क्योंकि क्षत्रिय के लिए धर्म युक्त युद्ध से बढ़कर दूसरा कोई कल्याणकारी कर्तव्य नहीं है. Then Arjuna, he is telling, Arjuna, you are a Kshatriya, you are a warrior. You are a warrior. So suppose now your duty, that time has arrived to show your skill. So if you back off now, then you are not doing what I as God want you to do. Suppose the patient is on the table. Patient is needing surgery, he is injured, he needs help. And everybody is crying, his family is crying, they don't know what to do. Doctor साहब, हमारा बच्चे का जान बचाइए. कितना आपने सुना होगा in your life. And then suppose the doctor also starts crying. क्या इसको चोट लग गया? He cannot do that. It's not his role to cry. His role is to tell them to get out, go in the waiting room, and he will perform the surgery. Because they are only obstructing by his crying. Much in the same way, the patient needs surgery by competent doctors, and they are the sages and saints for the Atma. So, but इसीलिए जब ज्ञान मिलता है तो लोग फिर उसको समझना पचाना चाहिए. अर्जुन को भी वही बता रहे हैं, ये आपका धर्म है. This is your duty. Duty meaning doctor's duty is to save a patient's life, but still beyond that it's God's will. As long as you have done your 100%, you cannot save everybody, and people will still go. But then you say, okay, whatever I could do, I have done. आगे हरी इच्छा. So हे पार्थ, अपने अपने प्राप्त हुए खुले हुए स्वर्ग के द्वार को, इस प्रकार युद्ध को भगवान क्षत्रिय लोग ही पाते हैं. God is saying this is a beautiful opportunity. Don't miss it out. Don't waste it. क्योंकि यदि तू इस धर्मयुक्त युद्ध नहीं करेगा तो स्वधर्म और कीर्ति को खोकर पाप को प्राप्त होगा. Now look at this beautiful shloka here. God is saying, Arjuna is saying, I will commit sin if I fight. God is saying you will commit sin if you don't fight. totally contrarian, isn't it? Yeah. वो उसको भय लग रहा है कि मुझे पाप लगेगा. भगवान कह रहे हैं पाप तब लगेगा जब तू लड़ेगा, क्योंकि तो कायर बन के भाग जाएगा. अभी तेरा पास it's like a student prepares for the exam. On the last day he gets cold feet and he doesn't go. What will happen? Fail.
Yeah.
That's it. The finally he didn't show up for the exam. And this is what he will tell Arjuna आगे कि everybody will insult you. तेरी अपकीर्ति हो जाएगी, तुम्हारा अपमान होगा कि इतना बड़ा अर्जुन जो इंद्र को हरा दिया, चूहे की तरह डर के भाग गया. He got scared. That's what Arjuna, God is saying. And you will lose respect of people. Right now they hold you in such high esteem. And he says for a respectable man, the worst thing that can happen is dishonor. जब तुम्हारी निंदा हो जाए और सामर्थ्य की, और then they will criticize you and they will have fun at your expense also. But you are doing it out of compassion and good reason, but they don't know that. उनको तो नहीं है पता कि तुम किस लिए कर रहे हो. तो भगवान कहते हैं तो तुम निश्चय ही युद्ध के लिए खड़े हो जाओ. Meaning stand up and fight. Which means the meaning is not to fight the battle with bows and arrows, but to fight the battle with our daily karma. Our duties is our battle. When we pick up the car and we go handle a patient, or we do this or we do that, or Papaji when he wakes up and the nurse comes and gives you support, that is the battle. We all have our battles. तो हम सबका अपना अपना जीवन का संघर्ष है जो हमको करना ही है. तो भगवान कहते हैं तो युद्ध में मारा जाकर स्वर्ग को प्राप्त होगा या संग्राम में जीतकर स्वर्ग को भोगेगा. भगवान अर्जुन को बोलते हैं, why would you not fight? You have laddus in both your hands. You have modaks, जैसे आप दिए हो. We have laddus, meaning you, whether if you fight and you वीर गति को प्राप्त हो गया, suppose you die, then you go enjoy the heaven, and if you win, then you enjoy the earth, because you will be the ruler of the earth also. So therefore don't worry about that. फिर ये श्लोक आता है, सुख दुख समे कृत्वा लाभ लाभौ जया जयो ततो युद्धाय युज्यस्व नैवं पापम वाप्स्यसि. अर्थात भगवान बताते हैं कि जय हो या पराजय हो, whether you win or you lose, लाभ हो या हानि हो, you have a profit or you have a loss, और सुख दुख को समान समझकर, whether you get joy, happiness or pain, he says consider it all equal, or and then get ready to fight. Why? Because you are not now attaching your asakti to a result. You are not saying I want this, I have to have this, I want. Otherwise what happens is it creates pain and disappointment when it doesn't result. But when you are not, whatever comes you are happy, whatever doesn't come you are still happy. What can anybody do? They cannot take your stability away from you. तो हे पार्थ, ये बुद्धि तेरे लिए ज्ञान योग के विषय में कही है. अब तो इसे कर्म योग के विषय में सुन, जिससे कर्म बंधन को तू भली भांति त्याग देगा, अर्थात सर्वथा नष्ट कर डालेगा. So God is first giving CPR to Arjuna to explain him why are you in this state. Get up, fight. You are wrong. Your thinking is wrong. Your logic is wrong. You don't understand properly what I am trying to teach you. Get the right message. असली मैसेज यही है कि आत्मा की तरफ ध्यान करो, शरीर को भूल जाओ, लेकिन नाव की तरह रिस्पेक्ट योर बॉडी बट डोंट गेट टू अटैच्ड टू इट. दैट्स व्हाट लॉर्ड कृष्णा इज सेइंग. फिर इस कर्म योग में आरंभ का बीज नाश नहीं है, फल दोष भी नहीं है, और कर्म योग का थोड़ा सा भी साधन जन्म मृत्यु के इस महान भय से रक्षा कर लेता है. So God is saying selfless service, action, which all of you are already doing so beautifully, serving the saints and helping the poor, even during Corona, treating the patients and doing little things, and then people are helping in many ways. Some people volunteer to go to hospital, some volunteer to go to that garden, maintaining the environment, and everybody. But key is yoga. Karma yoga. Yoga means that there is no you in it. You don't want anything out of the equation. You just want to be an instrument in the divine plan. You give. आप केवल दो और उसके बाद वो योग बन जाता है. वही काम जब आप पैसे के लिए करते हैं वो कर्म बन जाता है. Same action when you do with a service, attitude of service to help somebody, it becomes karma yoga because it's nishkamya karma. Meaning, I don't want it, God. Let me be an instrument. Let me help. But if you are doing the same thing for a paycheck, it's karma. Although karma is also needed because we have to pay the bills, we have to take care of everything. But we should have the attitude that हे भगवान, हम आपके चरणों के बच्चे हैं, आप जो भी देते हैं हमें शक्ति दीजिए. इसीलिए बोलते हैं मैं भी भूखा ना रहूं, साधु न भूखा जाए. साईं इतना दीजिए जामे कुटुंब समाए. Give me so much, O God, that I should be tript. Tript means contented. And there is no definition of contentment for billionaires or trillionaires, because there is no contentment there. They will keep on wanting more. Therefore, there is no peace there. But in Sudama's home, there is contentment, although he gets nothing. Dog eats the food. Still, he is finding happiness. So that contentment does not come easily. That comes through these things: devotion, bhakti, understanding the difference between body and consciousness, atma. So that's why he's saying this is the right way to think. Karma Yoga में निश्चयात्मिका बुद्धि एक ही होती है. Karma Yoga means when you are doing something for others, then God says make it simple. Swamiji says make it simple. Ask for liberation, ask for mukti. So when you ask for mukti and liberation, then every act that you do, everything you do, your life itself starts to flow in that way, and you become an instrument of God. So therefore, whereas if you don't think like that, then and you sometimes are thinking worldly, sometimes talking like this other ways, तो आपके कई branches आ जाती हैं, and you treat different people differently, but you are also creating a mesh of crap inside your own body. So therefore, there are all these bail, जैसे आप दिखा रहे थे ना, the vines that keep intertwining. That's what happens, and then we say, why are we not peaceful? We have everything, but we are not peaceful because we are not having one-pointed vision. If you know where the North Star is at night, you get lost. What can happen? You will know your direction because you know that's my North Star, and you follow it. If that's north, this must be south, this must be west, this must be east. Life becomes simple. But if you don't even have that, then what will you do? Then उसको हम हिंदी में बोलते हैं बिन पैंदे का लोटा. मतलब the lota doesn't have a base, so it keeps on rotating wherever you put it. What difference does it make? It has no direction. So Ganga gaye to Ganga Das, Jamuna gaye to Jamuna Das. So you become chaplus. That was the word Swamiji was saying. You try to impress people, you try to get into their good books, and you don't even mind lying to make them happy, but that's not the rule. A good doctor should tell you got a problem. Go eat more sweet, he will say. No, he will say that's wrong for you. Suppose he says eat more sweet, it's not a good doctor. Yeah. He says take the shots, eat, behave, exercise, good doctor. Simple. So that's what Arjuna is being guided by Lord Krishna. तो निश्चयात्मिका बुद्धि हमें करना बहुत आवश्यक है. तो भगवान कहते हैं कि तेरा कर्म करने में ही अधिकार है. कर्मण्यवाधिकारस्ते मां फलेषु कदाचन मां कर्म फल हेतुर्भूर्मा ते संगोऽस्त्व कर्मणि. God is saying God does not expect. See, listen, God knows an ant, God knows an elephant. He created both. He knows that an ant can only do what? Lift a grain of sugar. And that itself, she can lift her 5 times its own weight, an ant. And he knows an elephant can pick up big trees and remove them and all that. So he's not expecting an ant to pick up a tree. He knows that. So therefore we should be very realistic in our approach. हमें जो भी काम करें उतना ही करें. कर्म करने में तेरा अधिकार है, उसके फल में कभी नहीं. मा फलेषु कदाचन. Why does God say not in the results? Because results is not the department that we have been given. We have brought it from our last life. That has come through the consciousness. It's sitting in our chitta. तो चित्ता में जो कर्म की उत्पत्ति होती है वही हमारा प्रारब्ध बनके इस जीवन में आ जाता है. That is our prarabdha karma in this life. From that time of departure, jati, ayu, bhoga, 3 things come. What kind of species you will be born in, what kind of age you will get, and what kind of experiences you will get. You may have noticed some very rich people have handicapped children or children with autism, this, that. So ye karma hai. We cannot say why. God is not mean. God does not do anything at random. There is a deep intelligence behind every action. But God is is saying, when you do something, otherwise why would companies go out of business? Who wants to lose money? Who wants to die? Who wants to experience difficulties? But they do come. So therefore he is saying, don't say, maine kiya, I did it. You see, I thought like that. And this is what we as humans do. When something good happens, you did it. When something bad happens, it's God's problem. He always is partial. He gives you more pain than your neighbors. They are enjoying, but you are suffering. You say. That's not how we should think. Karmanyavadikaraste. So do your duty, forget about the result. It has to come. If a farmer is doing all the good work, the result will come. Either it is good or bad, how you approach to the result is up to you. You can either say, I accept it, or I say, I decline it. But either way, what has happened, you cannot change it. Therefore, ma phaleshu kadachana, ma karma phal hetur bhurma te sangovatsva karmani. Isliye to karmo ke phal ka hetu mat ho. Lot of times we say, see, I did it, I thought about it, it was my brilliant idea. मैंने सोचा इसलिए हुआ. भगवान कहते हैं ऐसा भी मत बोलो कि मैंने सोचा. किसने तुमसे सोचवाया? Who made you think? Do you think these brain vibrations are through your doing? These electrical vibrations? All we can do is eat the food. Who digests it? How are these intestines working, and how is the small intestine? Where is it going, and how is all that happening? So all that is happening through that chief architect who has done it. तो तेरा कर्म ना करने में भी आसक्ति न हो, संगो अस्वते कर्मणि. तो भगवान ने clearly, God is making sure that there are no lazy people on this earth, because one can easily say, okay, if I am not going to get the fruit, why should I work? Why should I work? And God says, this is why, because otherwise you will go into a lower species. कुत्ते बन के आओगे. Do you want to? Then you will just remain in the pond. Like a pig. Yeah, I mean, if we eat a lot, we become a pig, because if we have not really done anything, so therefore he is saying you cannot avoid your duty. चार चीज. कर्म करो, number 1. कर्म के फल में ध्यान नहीं दो, number 2. कर्म के फल के हेतु नहीं बनो, number 3. Don't say I did it, it's because of me. And number 4, sango asvate karmani means don't even have attachment to laziness or not doing activity. You cannot say, because a lot of people confuse karma. They say, if everything is written, why should I do anything? Everything is written, why should you eat? Let God push food through your pipes. You do eat, right? So why do we eat them? Why do we have these foolish arguments? There is no such thing as no karma. Karma, even thinking is karma. That's what God says. So therefore, positive thinking, good thinking is very important. And death becomes like a ball. You play with it. Kali, jaise Kali Ma, she is playing with the skulls, no? You see the movie? Ma Kali playing with the skulls. That's what these skulls are, skulls of sages and saints. That today we are here, tomorrow, and Lord Shiva, Bhasma. He put the Bhasma on his body. That is cremation ground. And he says that's very sacred, very holy. Because ultimately that's who we are. So always let's remember that. तो इसीलिए धनंजय तू आसक्ति को त्याग कर दे और सिद्ध को समान होकर युद्ध के लिए खड़ा हो जा और योग को ही समझो. Which means that do not get too attached to things, just consider that. So all this he says, and then Arjuna is very happy by hearing all these things. Remember, he is sitting in not fighting, not just left everything. तो अब इसको धीरे धीरे भगवान ऐसे समझा रहे हैं कि जिस काल में तेरी बुद्धि मोह रूप दलदल को भली भांति पार कर जाएगी. Because this attachment is not easy to give. Even Narad Muni and saints, big saints also get sucked into it. Because Maya is such a thing. प्रकृति जड़ तो है, पार्वती है तो है, पार्वती जो पर्वत का बता रहे थे जड़ तो है, लेकिन उसके अंदर जो शक्ति है वो हम सबको हिला के रख देती है. तो माया से निकलना बाहर आसान नहीं है. Just like we were saying yesterday, Shankaracharya ji also in that Maya, and then the disciples came and reminded him, Swamiji, let's go. Urgency. Right? So सुनने में आने वाले इस लोक और परलोक संबंधी सभी भोगों से वैराग्य प्राप्त हो जाता है. तो भगवान बताते हैं जब भी ये दलदल से तरेगी, दलदल मीनिंग दिस मोह इज लाइक अ क्विकसैंड. quicksand. So we keep with the, once you put your foot, we keep going deeper and deeper and deeper. We start sinking into it. And the more you try to come out in daldal, you go deeper. So Guru is the one who throws you the rope and you hold it and he will pull you out. And it will take a lot of strength for both partners. You have to work your best, he has to work his best. So this is why they say that moha should be given up, and then eventually you will get vairagya. Vairagya means dispassion. Therefore, you will understand all this is a dream only, so why am I so attached to this? Why should I need this? Why should I not need that? All we need is a little food, a little sleep, and a little chat. Now if God has given you more, all the power, all it's good. But you should mentally think like that whether you go in the Himalayas or you live in your comfortable home like Lord Rama, whether you are in the palace or you are in the forest, both conditions you lead with equanimity. ये हमारा कर्म है, एंड कर्म को काटा नहीं जा सकता है एकदम, उसको झेलना ही पड़ता है, उसको नकारा नहीं जा सकता है. We cannot tell a karma, go away, I don't want you. It has a right. So prarabdha is very important to understand this, that when prarabdha arrives, how you handle it matters a lot. It's the same prarabdha. You must have seen two people getting the same amount of pain. One person is bearing it in Hare Ram, Jai Shri Krishna, 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 Sudama. Or the other person, Ay, mara gaya, Bhagwan ne kyun kar diya, kya ho gaya, जोर जोर से चिल्लाएंगे, अरे कोई पानी लेके आओ, कोई ये करो, बहू रानी कहाँ हो, and all that is happening. But it's all a matter of attitude, and the more we resist, the more we make it worse also. So we have to understand that is all part of divine nature, but how you react to it, because we make the karma worse by repelling it. But if you accept it, because we go under the surgery voluntarily, we can say no, we don't want it, but then you will die. So to save your life, you will go under it. Much in the same way, we have to accept कि भगवान से नित्य संयोग. तो अर्जुन पूछते हैं, अर्जुन वाचा, हे केशव, समाधि में स्थित परमात्मा को प्राप्त हुए स्थिर बुद्धि पुरुष के क्या लक्षण हैं? वो स्थिर बुद्धि पुरुष कैसे बोलता है, कैसे बैठता है, कैसे चलता है? So Arjun has been listening patiently, and all this is sinking in. Difficult, because when somebody is argumentative and doesn't want to understand, but Arjun is a genuine aspirant. Arjun, आप और हम हैं पापा जी. Arjun हम लोग हैं. So because we want to learn, we want to know, we want to do the right thing, and we want to get liberated. So Arjun's intentions are not bad, but his knowledge is not fully up to par yet. He has not received it. He will eventually receive it. That's why it took 700 shlokas of Bhagavad Gita for Krishna to go through. And he is now saying, Sthit pragyasya ka bhasha. Matlab sthit pragya meaning an enlightened person. Oh God, you are giving me all these beautiful things. But how does an enlightened person behave? What does he do? तो भगवान उवाचा, he says, हे अर्जुन, जिस काल में ये पुरुष मन में स्थित संपूर्ण कामनाओं का भली भांति त्याग कर देता है और आत्मा से आत्मा में ही संतुष्ट रहता है, उस काल में वह स्थित प्रज्ञ कहा जाता है. So God is saying an enlightened person is one who has given up all desires, sampurn, not left some, and saying this is for tomorrow, but this is I'll give you. No. You have to give up all desires, meaning worldly desires, and then you just destroy it, forget about it, or Atma, and then you enjoy the aroma of your essence within. Just like when you sleep at night, you get a comfortable sleep, the aroma is giving you comfort. But when you consciously do it, you are aware of it all the time, that is where it becomes more powerful. वो फिर स्थित प्रज्ञ हो जाता है. और दुखों की प्राप्ति होने पर जिसके मन में उद्वेग नहीं होता, if problems come, he is totally in equanimity. He doesn't, pain is always painful. We get it, understand it, but he says he accepts it with thinking कि मेरा कर्म आके चला जाएगा. See, happiness comes and goes, sadness comes and goes, life comes and goes, death comes and goes. They all come and go. They are like actors. But what is truly there is your essence of Atma, your consciousness over which all these things are layered up. That's all. And that is ignorance. Because of ignorance, we are focusing on the eyes or the body or this or that, but not on the Atma. But that सुखों की प्राप्ति में जो निष्प्रभ है, suppose something good happens, he just enjoys it. कृष्ण ब्रह्मचारी है और दुर्वासा जी घास खा रहे हैं. Same thing, because he find everything is there, he just enjoy it. जिसके राग भय और क्रोध नष्ट हो गए हैं, a person who has given up attachment and who is not afraid and who has given up anger. Now think, that is not a small thing, to give up anger, to give up fear and to give up rag. ऐसे मुनि स्थिर बुद्धि कहा गया है. Such a person is called an enlightened person. That is why there are so few in this world, because it's easy to say give up anger, but it takes a lifetime to give up anger. Because just like when we put our hand on the hot surface, automatically the reflex reaction will push you back. Much in the same way, over many embodiments, we have built these lust, anger, passion, greed, jealousy, these weeds of problems. So if we think they'll go away in 20 days, that doesn't work. You have to, lifetime work we have to do. That's what God is saying. तो जो पुरुष सर्वत्र स्नेह रहित हुआ, शुभ शुभ को प्राप्त होकर ना प्रसन्न होता है ना द्वेष करता है, वही बुद्धि स्थिर बुद्धि कहा गया है. So we have to have a totally composed, calm mind and lead with everything as equanimity. Then God teaches us how should we do it. Obviously we are human beings, where something smells good or touches good or feels good, our senses will go, they will run like wild horses. If the horses are not yoked by the reins and a chariot driver, what will happen to the horses? They will run everywhere. And this is what God is saying. You control your senses with your mind. Mind is the reins. The intellect is the chariot driver. So he will control the reins and the direction. The soul is being driven. Otherwise the soul will be driven to a ditch if we listen to just our desires. That's why God is saying, so become like a कछुआ. स्वामी जी के उसमें पौंड में कछुआ है, उसको भोजन भी खिलाओ तो बड़े प्यार से खाता है. But when he comes out and when he sees some danger, he will go in and it looks like a rock. You will not be able to tell. So God is saying, when you are among sense pleasures, go inwards, become like a kachua, become like a turtle, and take all your hands, head, tail, everything, put it all in and go within. Don't try to be too brave. No, I am very highly intellectual and I know these things, they cannot affect me and therefore I will go. No. The minute you start to do that, it will be a downfall, because most human beings are not that capable to handle these intense senses. So यहाँ कहते हैं, ऐसे ही जो इंद्रियों से अपने मन को हटा लेता है, उसकी बुद्धि स्थिर है. Which means connect with your intellect and with your deeper self rather than these sense level organs. They are naughty, just like a naughty child will drag his mother and father and want this and want that at the grocery store, and if you start buying him everything, it will be a nuisance. You cannot do that. You have to teach him. And this is why we have to teach our mind not to do those things. तो इंद्रियों के द्वारा विषयों को ग्रहण ना करने से उसमें निवृत्ति नहीं होती. मतलब कि the sense organs are very deep. If we think of them, they go within our inner psyche. तो उससे हमको ध्यान करना है. तो यही भगवान बताते हैं बार बार. और जो पुरुष संपूर्ण कामनाओं का त्याग कर ममता रहित, अहंकार रहित विचरता है, वही शांति को प्राप्त होता है. So that person, realized person, who gives up all desires and who doesn't have mamta. Mamta means mindness. Ahankar rahit, egolessness, no ego. And spriha matlab agitation. There is no agitation. वही शांति को प्राप्त होता है और वही जो है दिव्य पुरुष बनकर आनंद लेता है. He is a स्थित प्रज्ञा. He is the one with established brain. So he says, hey Arjun, ये ब्रह्म को प्राप्त हुए पुरुष की स्थिति है. This is the state of a self-realized person, O Arjuna. इसको प्राप्त करके योगी कभी मोहित नहीं होता है. A yogi, somebody who wants to connect to God, is not therefore affected by anything once he gets this knowledge. And antakal mein bhi, this is important, when our last breath is going out, this state continues to give you bliss. Most people are in pain, most people are frustrated, don't know, but this yogi is ready to go as if he's having a beautiful sleep and he comes out in bliss. ये भगवान बता रहे हैं. परमानंद ब्रह्मानंद को प्राप्त हो जाता है. मीनिंग he has reached that state where most people are striving for it. But slowly God will take us deeper. But with this, let us fold our hands. Om Tat Sadati Srimad Gita Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Sankhya Yoga Nama Dvitiya Adhyaya Sampurnam. बोलिए श्री भगवान श्री कृष्ण की जय हो. जय श्री कृष्ण. जय श्री कृष्ण. तो भगवान की कृपा से हमने ये दूसरा अध्याय पापा जी आपके लिए किया है. भगवान आपको लंबी स्वस्थ आयु दे और आनंद दे, और जब भी वो समय आए इतने आनंद से आप जाएं कि ये उत्सव बने. आपका ये जाना सबके लिए मंगलकारी हो और खूब इनको आशीर्वाद आपके बच्चों को प्राप्त हो, रेखा जी को, पापा श्रीराम जी को, और जो जो आपसे जुड़े हैं समस्त परिवार का कल्याण हो और आप में भी शक्ति मिलता रहे. इसी भाव से चलिए हम पूजा का अंत कर दें, ध्यान का इस प्रवचन का अंत कर दें त्र्यंबकम मंत्र के साथ. ओम त्र्यंबकम यजामहे सुगंधिम पुष्टिवर्धनम उर्वारुकमिव बंधनान् मृत्योर्मोक्षीयमामृतात्. ओम सर्वेषां स्वस्ति भवतु, सर्वेषां शांतिर्भवतु, सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु, सर्वेषां मंगलं भवतु, सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. असतो मा सद्गमय, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय, मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय. ओम सहना भवतु, सहनौ भुनक्तु, सह वीर्यं करवावहै, तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै. ओम शांति शांति शांति. ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते, पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. करचरणकृतं वा कायजं कर्मजं वा श्रवणनयनजं वा मानसं वापराधं विहितं वा सर्वमेतत्क्षमस्व. जय जय करुणाब्धे श्री महादेव शंभो. जय जय करुणाब्धे श्री महादेव शंभो. जय जय करुणाब्धे श्री महादेव शंभो. समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु. ओम ब्रह्मर्पणं ब्रह्महवि ब्रह्मग्नौ ब्रह्मणाहुतं ब्रह्मैव तेन गन्तव्यं ब्रह्मकर्म समाधिनः. अहं वैश्वानरो भूत्वा प्राणिनां देहमाश्रितः प्राण अपान समायुक्ता पचामन्यं चतुर्विधं. हरिः ओम तत्सत्. ब्रह्मर्पणमस्तु. समस्त लोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु. ओम शांति शांति शांति. इस यज्ञ को सुनने के लिए बहुत बहुत भगवान की कृपा है जो हम यहाँ एकत्रित हैं. तो चलिए हम सब ये पुण्य दान करें अपने प्रिय पिताजी को, पापा जी को. जो भी आप सब ने श्रवण ध्यान से सुना है पापा जी, ये सब आपके डिपॉजिट बैंक अकाउंट में जाएगा और आप ही को प्राप्त होगा और आपका भी कम नहीं होगा, क्योंकि इन्फिनिटी माइनस इन्फिनिटी इन्फिनिटी. हरि ओम तत्सत. तो बोले 3 बार बोलेंगे. गीता पुण्यम अर्पणम करिष्ये, गीता पुण्यम अर्पणम करिष्ये, गीता पुण्यम अर्पणम करिष्ये, गीता पुण्यम अर्पणम करिष्ये. 3 बार बोलेंगे. श्री कृष्ण अर्पणम करिष्ये. ओम 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 शांति शांति शांति. भगवान कृष्ण इस प्रार्थना को स्वीकार करें. आपका उत्तम रिजर्वेशन हो वैकुंठ धाम में ऑलरेडी हो गया है। जैसे आप पहले टिकट रिजर्व करा लेते हैं, आपका टिकट रिजर्व हो गया। भगवान की कृपा और मंगल आप सबके लिए शुभ हो और भगवान आपको सुखी रखे पापा जी, आपका कृपा रहे और हर तरीके से आपका मंगल हो। इस प्रार्थना के साथ हम इस प्रेयर्स को अभी विराम लेते हैं और खूब मंगलमय आपका जीवन हो। ब्लेसिंग्स टू यू। और आपको भी श्रीराम जी और रेखा जी, आप जैसे तो मॉडल बनने बंद हो चुके हैं इस धरती पर, काश और हों और आपका प्यार और ये जो भक्ति भाव है खिलता रहे, कल्याण करता रहे, गुरु सेवा होती रहे और इसी जीवन में शक्ति भक्ति मुक्ति की प्राप्ति हो। आप भी संत ही हैं, चाहे आप गृहस्थ जीवन जी रहे हैं, लेकिन किसी भी संत से कम नहीं है। सबका सेवा करते हैं, सबको प्रणाम और आदर भाव देते हैं। इतना सुंदर बात है। और पिताजी का इतने बड़ा जो आपको मौका मिल रहा है, पहले माता जी का, पिताजी का सेवा करने का, तो जिनके ऐसे बच्चे हैं, आप तो धन्य हैं पिताजी, बहुत धन्य हैं कि ऐसे, हाँ हम तो धन्य हैं ही, आप तो धन्य हैं ही। तो आप सबको कोटि कोटि प्रणाम। हरि ओम तत्सत, हरि ओम तत्सत।
आपकी भी बहुत आभारी है, आपका इतना प्यार जो है बरसा है।
ये तो हमारे गुरुदेव की कृपा तो सब पर उतनी ही बरसती है। लेकिन धन्यवाद धन्यवाद। बर्तन सीधा पड़ा हो तो आनंद खुद ही आता है। आप लोगों के बर्तन अच्छे हैं, सीधे हैं और बड़े बड़े पात्र हैं, तो इसीलिए भर रहे हैं। भक्ति से भरते रहे। हरि ओम। ओम तत्सत। नहीं, अवश्य अवश्य, ये तो हमारा सौभाग्य है। बस देखा जी, बस भगवान हमको दोनों को सुखी रखे। हम अवश्य आपके पास होंगे, जब आपको आवश्यकता रहेगी
तो बहुत
सपोर्ट चाहिए। चाहे कितना भी हम गीता पढ़े, बात करें, लेकिन फिर भी हम इंसान ही हैं, भगवान तो नहीं है ना। तो उसके लिए भी भगवान शक्ति देंगे। भगवान करें। ठीक, चलिए अब हम फेसबुक बंद करें।